Hello everyone, welcome to IP Study video lectures. Today we will discuss grade 7 science chapter electricity, circuits and their components. In this chapter we will cover the topics torch, a simple electric circuit, circuit diagrams, electric conductors and insulator. In your day-to-day life, you use various electrical devices which runs on electrical energy, or we can say these run on electricity. So what is electricity? Electricity is a form of energy which powers these devices to run. It is generated when electrons travel in a circuit, and that circuit should be a closed circuit. So when the electrons are moving in a closed circuit, they are producing electricity, or we can say a form of energy. What happens when suddenly power cut-off occurs or all the lights in your room switch off due to no more supply of electricity? What do then? You try to find out a source of light. In such case, you can look for a torch or you can light a candle. Have you ever noticed that how does a torch produces light energy? Here we will discuss that. First of all, you need to understand the structure of a torch. A torch is usually made of a plastic or metal container. Let's check the design of a torch. So here we have a plastic or metal case. This is. Inside this we have a circuit which is enabling to produce light energy. In this circuit we have a small bulb which is connected to metal strips which are running inside this case, and then there are source of electricity. What are these sources? There are cells which are arranged in a manner so that it can produce electricity. It can change the chemical energy inside the cell into the light energy through the circuit. So we need to switch on the torch so that we can produce the light energy, or it can flash the light energy. So what we do for that? We slide a switch. Switch is a component of this torch, or we can say it's a component of the circuit in the torch which is completing the circuit so that the electricity can flow through the circuit and it can produce the light energy. When the switch is slided, it connects the metal strips here, both the metal strips, through a piece of small metal strip, and then the circuit is completed because this metal strip is connected to the electric bulb here and then to the positive end of the cell. Then this current, this circuit is passing through the cell from positive to negative terminal, and after the first cell another cell is arranged, and how it is connected? The positive end of the second cell is connected to the negative end of the first cell, and then the current is going towards the negative terminal. Then here we have a metal spring which is connected to this metal stripe so that it can complete the circuit and the current flows through the circuit to produce the electricity. So what is the requirement here to produce the electricity through a torch? We need a closed circuit which is composed of a source of energy which is cell here, and a circuit made up of metal stripes and metal spring, and it is connected to a small bulb which will produce the light and emit the light. Now understand the simple electric circuit here. So as we discussed in the case of torch, we need an electric cell which is the source of energy here to produce the electricity. In a cell, most of the time if you notice the pencil cell, these are the pencil cells, They have a cylindrical shape and it is having two ends, the top and the bottom. At the top you might see an embossed part of metal which is making the positive terminal, a metal cap which is marked as the positive terminal of the cell, and the bottom also has a metal disc which is marked as negative terminal. Even if you check other types of cells, for example button cells which are disc shaped, they also have two different sides, the top and the bottom. Tops will be marked as the positive end and the bottom will be marked as negative end. So these are called the two terminals of a cell. Next is battery. Battery is also a source of energy here, a source of electricity here. When two or more than two cells are arranged together in a manner that the positive end of one cell is connected to the negative end of the other cell. And that's how we create a series of the cell connected in the same way by joining the positive end of one cell to the negative end of the other cell. So we make a battery. So this arrangement of cells where the cells are arranged in the series by connecting their positive and negative terminals, a battery is prepared. Here we can see this, a battery can have minimum 2 cells or more than 2 cells. We can arrange as required numbers of cells to increase the strength of a battery. When I say increase the strength of the battery means we are increasing the power of the battery. Next is electric lamp or any electrical device which run on the electricity, so that we can test whether the current or we can say the electricity is flowing through a circuit or not. So here in torch we are using an incandescent lamp or it's a small bulb. So what is there in a bulb which help us to see the light energy? That is a filament. Filament is a piece of metal, thin metal wire which is usually coiled, and it is connected to the metal case of the bulb at one end and the other end is connected to the metal tip at the bottom of the bulb. When this bulb is connected in a circuit, the metal tip is connected to one terminal of the circuit and the metal case is connected to the other terminal of the circuit. That's how it makes a channel, it makes a path for the current to flow through this bulb. When electricity passes through this bulb, the filament heats up due to heating effect of electricity that you will study further, and it becomes red hot and it start emitting light energy. That's how a bulb is producing light energy when connected to a closed circuit. Here you can see this again. One end of the filament is connected to the case and the other one is connected to the metal tip here. Next is LED lamp. We can use various kind of bulbs here. So one of the device which can be used here to check the flow of current in a circuit is LED lamp, which is light emitting diode. If you notice a LED, you will find two wires coming through this LED. One is shorter end and the other one is longer end. And what you will see that when we are connecting more than one LEDs in a circuit, we are again following the same way of connecting the cells in a battery. We connect one large end, one longer end of one LED to the shorter end of the other LED, which means these are behaving as the terminals of the LED. So when you are supposed to connect these LEDs with a circuit, what you will do? The longer end will be connected to one terminal of the cell or the circuit, and the shorter terminal will be connected to the other terminal. So, how will you do this? You will use it as positive and negative terminals like a battery or like a cell. So, the longer wire will be positive terminal and connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and the shorter wire, shorter strand will be the negative terminal and will be connected to the negative terminal of the cell or the battery. That's how when you connect these components in a circuit, a closed circuit is formed. To make these connections, we need a conducting wire. We need a metal wire which can conduct the electricity. In most of the cases, we use copper wire or aluminum wire here because they help us to conduct energy or electricity with more efficiency. So here, one more thing we can use to use cells in a circuit, that is the case of the battery. What is that? Here you can see one end has a spring and the other end has a metal tip. So how these are used? The bottom of any cell which is negative terminal is connected to the spring, and the top, the tip of the cell which is positive terminal is connected to this metal tip in a battery case. So that's how you can connect numbers of cells in a battery case where these are arranged, these are connected in a series. What is the series here? Let's check in which case it will work. For example, if you observe these images, here we are using conducting wire, we are using a bulb and a cell to make a circuit and to test whether the current is flowing through the circuit and it is emitting light through the bulb. So in the first case, the first end, one end of the bulb is connected to the positive tip of the cell, and the second end is connected to the base which is negative terminal of the circuit. That's how one complete circuit is formed and the bulb start emitting light. What if one of these end or conducting wire is connected to this tip of the cell and the second one is also connected to this? What will happen in this case? Both the terminals of the bulb are connected to only one terminal of the bulb. In this case, the circuit will not be called complete circuit because the other end needs to be connected to the negative terminal only. In that case only, it will flow the current through the circuit. Or what if the connection is broken? It is not completed like here. So what will happen? Here you can see both the ends of the wires are not connected properly. So there is a gap between the wires. So the connection is not completed. In this case also, the current will not flow through the circuit. So if you observe all these cases, somehow either the circuit is incompleted by making incomplete connections between the components or making incorrect connections between the components. So in such cases, the current does not flow and you cannot see the bulb emitting the light energy. We discussed one component here that is called the switch. What is switch and what is the importance of switch in any circuit? Switch is the control of electricity through a circuit. It controls the flow of current or the electricity through a circuit. So how can we make a switch? For making a simple switch, you can use a safety pin. You need a cardboard. Place 2 thumb pins and fix 2 pieces of wires connected to the bulb in a circuit. And now you need to fix one end of the safety pin to one thumb pin and the other end to the second thumb pin. In such case, what will happen? There will be a complete path which will allow the current to flow through this. If either of the ends of the thumb pin is not connected to the safety pin, the circuit will not be called complete circuit. It will be called incomplete circuits. So scientifically we use two terms here, open circuit and the closed circuit. What is open circuit? A circuit where all the connections are not completed. It has any break. In this case we call it open circuit, and when the circuit is completed we call it closed circuit. The current flows through any device when the circuit is completed or it is closed. We can test this switch by connecting it to a source of energy and the device or a simple bulb. So in first case, you can see here the safety pin is not connected to both the end of the circuit. It is connected to one end only. So the circuit is broken, it is incomplete. In such case, we can say the switch is off and the circuit is open. In such case, the current will not flow and the bulb will not emit any light energy. In the second case, as the safety pin is connected to both the terminals of the circuit is now completed. It is closed path. So the current will flow through this and the bulb will start emitting light energy. So what is necessary here? That the circuit should be closed. It should be connected to all the components of the circuit. The battery should have energy. It should not be drained off, and the bulb should have complete filament. The filament also should not be broken. If the filament is broken, the circuit will be incompleted. In that case, we will say the circuit is now open. Do we draw the bulb? Do we draw the battery case and battery every time? No, we can use the symbols here. We can use symbols to draw the circuit diagram. It saves our time as well. So, what are the symbols here? Let's check this. To show a cell, we need two strands, one longer strand and one shorter strand connected through wires of the circuit. So, the longer strand shows positive terminal, means the tip of the cell, and the negative terminal is denoted by the shorter strand, which is the base. Okay. So, in any circuit, if one positive means one longer strand and one shorter means one negative terminal is drawn there, that is showing one cell. If we are using more than one cell, means we are using a battery. So, we will repeat this diagram. We will repeat the same symbol of the cell next to each other in a series, means the longer strand, then shorter, the longer, then shorter, and that's how we can repeat the number of cells. Here we have one cell, two cell, longer and shorter, three cells, and that's how we can increase the number of cells to represent a battery. Next is the lamp, which will help us to understand whether the current is flowing. It is used to test by emitting the light whether the current is flowing or not, or the circuit is closed or open. So it is denoted by this symbol. What we are doing here? We are drawing one circle and then drawing one cross inside the circle and then connecting it, means we are drawing two terminals of this symbol so that we can connect it to a circuit. Next is the switch, which is on, means it is making a complete circuit. So when the switch is on, here we can assume these are two thumb pins we use there. So these are two terminals of any circuit and it is now connected through the switch. If this is a continuous connection, it is a closed path which allows electricity to flow through this, and in such case the bulb will emit light, or if any small fan is connected there, the fan will start running on the electricity. Next is when the switch is off. So what we can do here, just to show any breakage, we will draw two terminals here and we will connect the switch to one terminal only and the other terminal will not be connected to show the breakage here. and that means the switch is off, means the circuit is now open. It cannot allow the current to complete the path and it will not help a bulb to emit the light. All these components are connected through connecting wire, which I said earlier can be made using a metal which can conduct the electricity. So, more often we use copper and aluminum wires here because they allow electricity to flow efficiently. And how do we show a LED, light emitting diode? Here we are drawing a wire, then we are making a triangle over it, then one terminal. So, to mark the terminals of the LED, what we will do? Towards the triangle, we will show the positive, and towards this strand, we will show the negative terminal of the LED. So, that's how we understood different symbols of the components of any electric circuit which are used to draw the diagram of electric circuit. So, here we discuss that most of the time we are using copper and aluminum metal wires. So, what we are trying to conclude here, that only selective materials can allow electricity to flow? Yes, certain materials allow electricity to flow through them. These materials are called the conductor of electricity. These are conductor materials. For example, silver, gold, copper, these are best conductor of electricity. And what are the other types of material which are not permitting electricity to flow through them? These are insulators. For example, plastic, rubber, glass, wood, ceramic, paper and many other things. Okay, so how can we test these materials? First, we need to make a circuit. What are the basic components here? The basic components are a lamp or bulb, a cell or battery, conducting wire and two terminals which will be connected to certain materials as a switch here to test whether they allow electricity to pass through them or not. So, here the switch is not used, the open terminals are left there so that we can connect different materials and we can test whether they are good conductors or they are insulators. So, here you can see a pencil is connected here. In a pencil, there is a black lead inside the pencil that conducts electricity. It is made up of graphite. So, graphite is a good conductor of electricity which completes the flow of the current when it is connected between these two terminals. What if a piece of rubber is used here instead of a pencil? Like you can use your eraser and place it between these two terminals of the circuit. So, it will not allow the current to flow because it is not completing the circuit. What is the reason here? That the rubber is an insulator material, that's why it doesn't complete the circuit and we cannot see the bulb emitting the light. What if a cotton roll is connected here? It will also not conduct the electricity, so the bulb will not emit the light. What if we are using a paper strip? Paper strip also doesn't conduct the electricity. What if we are using a metal coin here in this piece? So, the metals are good conductor of electricity. Any metal coin will conduct the electricity and the bulb will start emitting the light. So, that's how we can classify materials into two groups. One is conductor and the second one is insulator based on their ability to allow the current pass through them. And that's why we categorize them as conductors and insulators. So, in this chapter, we studied what is electricity and what are the different components of any electric cell which help us to study the flow of electricity through a circuit. What are the closed circuits and the open circuits? How can we make a circuit open and closed? what is required here? We need a switch here, or we need a material which can allow the current to flow through the circuit to complete the circuit. A switch regulates whether the current circuit will be completed or broken to flow the current through this. And we understood the classification of materials based on their ability to allow the current to pass through them, and we divided the material as conductor and insulator based on that property. That's it for the day. We will come with the next topic in the next session. Thank you.